Good evening, my dear students. So, in the last video, we discussed about the ferrous metals. Okay, ferrous metals means what? They contain iron as the main constituent. Now, in this video, we are going to discuss what are the non-ferrous metals. See, they do not contain iron as their main constituent. Okay, so what are the properties? Good strength to weight ratio. See, as ferrous metals, they contain iron, they are not light in weight. But see, non-ferrous metals, they do not contain iron, therefore they are light in weight. Okay, and therefore, see, for example, aluminium. So therefore nowadays non-ferrous materials are widely used. Okay, so what are the properties? Good strength to weight ratio, good resistance to corrosion, lightweight, high electrical and thermal conductivity. That means they are good conductor of electrical and heat. What are the examples? Copper, aluminium, zinc, lead, nickel, etc. Now aluminium. See, it is silvery, white in color, soft and ductile material. It is found as bauxite. Okay, so bauxite is the source. It is the raw form of the aluminium. So from the bauxite, after doing certain processes on bauxite, aluminium is produced. So what are the properties? It is light in weight, it shows resistance to corrosion, it is non-magnetic, good chemical and thermal conductivity. Applications where they are used. So aluminium is used as the deoxidizer in the production of iron and steels, bus bars, cables, induction motors, aircraft parts, suspension, chassis, etc. Now aluminium alloys. See, basically there are number of alloys, but on broad basis we are going to discuss two types of aluminium alloys. One is duralumin and another is Y alloy. So duralumin, it is used in making connecting rods, aero engine parts, etc. Y alloy, it is used in making piston parts. Second alloy is copper. First is aluminium, second is copper. So it is the oldest known metal and it is extracted from copper pyrite. See, copper pyrite is the raw material. Okay, so from copper pyrites, copper is produced after doing certain processes. So what are the properties? High electrical and thermal conductivity, lightweight, high ductility, it is malleable and soft. What are the applications where they are used? Tubes of the refrigerator. Already we discussed refrigeration and air conditioning. So that evaporation, condensation tubes, okay, tubes of refrigerator and air conditioners, electrical wires, cables and conductors, etc. Next, copper alloy. See, basically there are two copper alloys. One is brass, another is bronze. So brass is an alloy of copper and zinc. See, when copper and zinc both are added with each other, brass is produced in certain proportions. Both are added, copper and zinc. So what are the properties? Good machinability, good cast stability, high corrosion resistance. Okay, commonly used brasses in the industries are red brasses and delta brasses. Okay, applications where they are used: pump parts, valves, condenser tubes, gears, etc. Now next is bronze. It is an alloy of copper and Sn, tin. So when we add copper and Sn in appropriate or correct proportion, bronze is produced. And with this small amount of sulfur, aluminium, manganese, it is added with copper and Sn. What are the properties? It shows very good strength compared to brass and copper. good corrosion resistance, improved hardness, is machinability. We can easily machine this material on any machine. Types of bronze: gun metal, bell metal, phosphorus bronze, etc. Okay, so it completes the non-ferrous materials. Now next we are going to discuss composite materials. See, we discussed till today ferrous and non-ferrous materials. So this is a new class of the material, it is known as composite material. So it is defined as a material which is a combination of two or more dissimilar metals. See here, we add reinforcement. See, this is the reinforcement. This is reinforcement. This is one type of the material. Okay, this is another type of the material, that is matrix. So when we add reinforcement with the matrix, you see here composite material is produced. The important thing is that the property of the reinforcement is different from the property of the matrix material. Means properties of matrix are different, properties of reinforcement are different. So when we add reinforcement with the matrix material, different type of the material that is produced, and it is known as composite material. Okay, function, it takes functions of the reinforcement material. Okay, see, when we apply the load on this composite material, so who will take the load? This reinforcement material will take the load. Okay, then this reinforcement material, it transfers the strain to the matrix. Okay, what are the functions of the matrix? It holds the reinforcement material, it supports or it protects the reinforcement material from the environment. Okay, it distributes the fiber properly. See, when we add this reinforced material in the matrix, so what is the function of the matrix? It distributes the reinforcement properly. You see here how the reinforcement materials are distributed in the matrix. Okay, then classification of the composites we'll discuss in the next video. Thank you.